This is good? Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh, I feel very powerful. We're gonna start the rally portion of our fun Earth Day in just a minute or so. If you want to take a seat, stand around. You won't want to miss anything. Smokey McSmokerface, I don't think that's the actual official name, is here. So he's also, if you want a selfie, that is the best smokestack that exists in the state of Iowa, fun fact. Yes, round of applause for Smokey McSmokerface. Hi, my name is Deaconess Irene Damaris, and I have the honor of being the Executive Director of Iowa Interfaith Power and Light. Our mission is to empower Iowans of faith and conscience to take bold and just action on the climate crisis. And one of the ways we do that is that we have been one of the, I think, original members of the Clean MidAm Coalition. We are asking MidAmerican Energy to shut down their coal plants by 2030. They tout this renewable energy vision, and yet they operate one of the largest coal fleets in our state. They operate 6 coal plants, and that's something a lot of people don't know. Some of the communities, they forget that the coal plants are there, but that's the reality. And so Clean Up MidAm, we're asking MidAm to shut down their coal by 2030, and we're also asking them to provide just transition plans for the coal communities. So the coal communities are resourced so they can figure out what's next for them. So they can dream of a world without coal and they have a healthy communities, because we know that coal leads to asthma and other health risks. So that's why we're here today. We're here to demand clean energy from MidAmerican to live into what they're saying. We believe that MidAm has the moral obligation to move beyond coal. And that's why So today we're going to have some great speakers. We're going to, in the spirit of my tradition in Christianity, during Holy Week, Jesus came to the temple, and what did he do? He flipped a table. Today we're going to turn the script on MidAm, and yet we're going to invite them in. So we're going to do some table turning, and then those who are able to, we're going to march the 4 blocks to where MidAm is headquartered in the Ruan Center, and we're going to deliver letters asking their leadership to meet with us so we can so they can talk just transition with us, because they're not talking about it and they need to. So, and we'll do some lovely liturgy, and it'll be so much fun. So, yay, I'm just so excited everyone's here. This has been a dream of Iowa IPLs to host this event for a long time. So without further ado, I'm going to invite the very Reverend Dr., the Dean of this cathedral, Nicola Dance Chase, to say a few words. So.
Wow, there's quite a crowd of you. Welcome to St. Paul's Episcopal Cathedral. For those of you who don't know, the Episcopal Church is part of a worldwide Anglican communion, and that church is kind of overseen by the Archbishop of Canterbury in England, where I happen to originate. And the Anglican communion and the Anglican Church traces some of our roots back to a Celtic tradition. And I really believe that's where our creation care and our love for the environment comes from. So for those of you who know anything about Celtic spirituality, and if you don't, we can talk about that later, then you will know that very groundedness, literal groundedness in the environment and the beauty of God's earth is where some of our love for creation care comes from. Now, I happen to have a PhD in physics, and 35 years ago I was writing a paper on the greenhouse effect, and at that time you could see how that carbon dioxide in the atmosphere varied on an annual cycle. It still does that. Now that annual cycle reflects a beautiful, I think, relationship between creatures on God's earth. As we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, we breathe that out. Then the trees and other growing things actually breathe in that carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. Well, that's a terribly good idea, it seems to me, and we're all in partnership with that together. Now, the thing that was catching the attention and concerning scientists those decades ago, that annual cycle is a good and natural thing, but overlaid on that was this increasing baseline of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere that comes from the consumption of fossil fuels. And I checked that data again on Saturday, and what I found was that that increase is actually accelerated. Whatever efforts we're taking has not changed or mitigated against that destructive increase that we've seen for now decades. So this is a relevant action that we need to take today. The other thing I would like to mention is that as part of the Anglican Communion, we have partners around the world, and in Iowa, we partner with a diocese in Africa, and the Bishop of Swaziland actually, from their perspective, of course, they see the effects of climate change, and sometimes they are really suffering from some of the industrialized pollution that in nations like America and the post-industrial world have created for many years. So seeing that global perspective really helps us to understand how our actions affect others. And I commend you all for being here today. I thank you, and let's continue to broadcast the message that we need to create change. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you so much. I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Marshall James from the Iowa Environmental Council, a Renaissance man, and someone who really put his heart and soul in helping this event come together.
All right, I'm going to try and talk a little bit louder because this is we're already at 10. So we did a whole lot of planning, and we didn't really account for what a windy day today was going to be. So our sweet diorama of MidAmerica's present is just not holding up to hurricane force winds in Iowa. But hey, it means there's a lot of clean energy being made today. So thank you for that. I want to thank everyone for coming out today and honoring this day that we hold sacred for our home world, the cradle of life, the earth. I ask that everyone take a moment and look around you at the people here today, these fellow children who have come together on this Earth Day. You are part of a community of people who care deeply about what is to become of the divine living world. Today, Earth's children face myriad daunting challenges: ecological, societal, spiritual. At this very moment, the machine of capitalist imperialism is snuffing out countless lives, humans and non-human, in a reckless, brutal scramble for wealth and control. Genocides and ecocides are carried out before our very eyes every day, broadcast to us in high definition, and we lack the mechanisms as individuals to stop it. This feeling of powerlessness can be all too consuming, and some days I feel like I'm drowning in it. I ask you all to look around again. Find someone for your gaze to rest upon and see in your community the grief that they're carrying. To do this work, to attend to these struggles, is to look a disquieting truth in the face. With bravery, yes, but also with rage and sadness as well. This work can be devastating, but in this moment, with this friend that you found, realize that you're not alone. We are not alone. Years ago, in the depths of my own climate grief, I gave up on my dream of fatherhood. The future seemed too cruel, the fate of the living world seemed sealed. Who was I to force the burden of being a witness to that future on someone else? Philosopher Mark Fisher states that it's easier to imagine the end of the world than the end of capitalism. Indeed, when faced with the enormity of the forces of capital, such as MidAmerican Energy, it does seem plausible that they will run their polluting coal plants up until the very breakdown of our society. We are but a small gathering against a mighty force that seems immovable. Climate grief stems from an understanding of our present conditions, but it sustains itself in an inability to imagine a viable alternative. However, our society is built upon figments of imagination. MidAmerican Energy is not a real thing. It is simply the name of an idea that a group of people have. That idea could be replaced with a better one. An idea which powers Iowa with clean, sustainable energy. An idea that responsibly cleans up the millions of tons of toxic waste that is produced and finds a truly safe way to dispose of it. The author and philosopher Ursula K. Le Guin once said, "We live in capitalism and its power seems inescapable, but so did the divine right of kings. Any human power can be resisted and changed by human beings. Imagination must be our tool of liberation. We live in a world imagined by wealth hoarders and profit seekers, but we can make a world imagined by artists and caregivers. Imagination is how we shape the world, and in fact we are doing it right now." Humanity is clever and capable of rising to the challenge of preventing its own apocalypse. Indeed, we are the only species in the history of the known universe who is capable of such a feat. We humans have created a great many messes out of ignorance and greed, yes, but we have also developed multitudes of technologies and techniques which could not only halt the trajectory of the ecological crisis, but could reverse much of the damage we've caused. Humanity could be a force actively healing the world if we could but find a way to step into this role. I believe that restoring the environment and achieving harmonious integration with the living earth is our divine calling, our grand challenge, and our collective destiny. The test before us is the greatest ever faced by humankind, without question. If we manage to meet this challenge and overcome it, it will be the greatest accomplishment, a feat for which our entire species can take pride, an achievement that truly proves nothing is impossible when humanity sets itself to the task. 2 years ago, my partner and I welcomed our child into this world. As I gazed at this beautiful baby, right over there, I realized that I was helping to raise them was my declaration of faith, my oath, my vote of confidence that humanity is not only capable, but will achieve its destiny. We will save life on Earth from our excesses and restore the living harmony with Earth's ecosystems. We will topple the machines of war, oppression, and exploitation, and forge a stronger society that cares for all living things. Look around you one more time, at your partners in this struggle. Witness them. Each and every one here has heard the call from our Creator to take up this ultimate challenge. And seeing all these wonderful teammates we have in this trial gives me even greater faith that we will make that beautiful world manifest. I see all of you, and I thank you.
Woo! You need to see that. Let's put this on there.
Our coalition is so handy.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
How about that? Let's give another round of applause. There is so much hope. Look at our hope around us. You're filling so many cups today. I'd like to invite our next speaker, the Reverend Heather Walkendorf. She is the pastor of New Beginnings Christian Church in Urbandale, and I can't wait to hear what she has to say. So come on up, Heather.
Short people.
We can.
I'm good. I got it now. I'm good. Thank you. All right. This is an important question. Do you like pie? Not the number, but the food. Who likes pie? Okay, pie's good. Pie's good. Favorite kind? Shout them out. Coconut cream. All of them. You guys are going to have to use your voices today. That is what a rally is about. We're just warming up here, friends. Come on. Come on. All right. Pie. Apple. Pecan. Peach. Strawberry. Rhubarb. I have a button right here on this bag. And it says equal rights for others does not mean less rights for you. It is not pie. Fortunately, there are some things that we can give all people without someone losing out. All people having equal rights to marry the person they love, win-win. All people having access to quality public education, win-win. All people having equal opportunity to eat the pie of their choice, win-win. But what about energy? If we are talking about coal, well, the pie is burnt. The bakers are suffering. And when it is gone, it is gone. And the kitchen is a mess. When we make energy with coal, we are ravaging the earth as we delve into her mysteries. We are risking the lives of human beings who labor to extract this limited supply of coal. We are filling the air with toxic fumes and contaminating the water in the land with byproducts of this energy production. Sounds delicious, right? Okay, so instead, let us look to the sky and find a limitless source of energy. And let us turn our face to this ever-present wind and discover a refreshing wind bringing the power of clean energy to us. When we talk about wind and solar energy, we are talking about limitless pie, my friends, and a clean kitchen. Anybody want some ice cream with that? Yeah. So according to the scripture of Judeo-Christian tradition, God created the earth and entrusted its care to people. Genesis 1:1 says, in the beginning when God created the heaven and the earth. And then the inclusive Bible tells us in Genesis 1:27 through 28, humankind was created as God's reflection. In the divine image, God created them. God made them. God blessed them and said, bear fruit, increase your numbers, fill the earth, and be responsible for it. Watch over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and all the living things on the earth. It is time to truly care for creation and take our responsibility for this earth seriously. God created the sun and the wind, which people have harnessed as a renewable energy. It is time to make a just and equitable transition to the exclusive use of these limitless resources. It is time to completely eliminate the use of finite fossil fuels that are harming creation. It is time to close down the coal plants and provide training to their employees so they are able to pursue new and equitable career opportunities. It is time to stop lining the pockets of stockholders with money and start healing the damage of a business model that has placed profits over people and God's creation. As Proverbs 16:8 wisely tells us, better is a little with righteousness than large income with injustice. It is time for pie that can be shared by all. It is time for a big slice of environmental justice with a scoop of accountability. It is time for MidAmerican to close its cold kitchens and let the wind of change and the brightness of truth be their guide. We are done swallowing their lies and excuses and demand action. For the people of Iowa and the land itself, it is time to commit to a coal-free future. On this Earth Day, We are pointing our forks at MidAmerican and demanding that they stop dragging their feet and hiding behind their wind turbines. So long as there is a single coal plant still polluting our air and our land, we will not be silent. We choose a healthy and sustainable future for the people, land, and creatures of Iowa. We choose to be responsible for God's creation that has been entrusted to us. And it is our prayer that MidAmerican will finally make that choice too. Thank you.
I want that pie. Our next speaker is my friend and colleague Josh Mandelbaum from the Environmental Law and Policy Center. So let's give a big round of applause to Josh. Who's a little taller?
He's tall.
He's tall.
He's tall.
Well,
Very tall.
well, thank you, Irene, for inviting me to be a part of this great event. And thank you to all of you for spending a little bit of your Earth Day with all of us working to make things a little bit better for all of us. I wanted to take this moment to talk about something that I don't really talk about that often in this work. And that's partly how I got here and how I ended up doing this work. So a number of you know, I grew up in this community. And I grew up, and my family has a long history in the Jewish community here in Des Moines. In fact, my great-great-grandfather was one of the founding congregants of Temple B'nai Jeshurun, which still exists today. It's the Reformed Temple at 51st and Grand. And I've been a member of that congregation my entire life. And as I was growing up, as I was looking for meaning in my religion and figuring out who I was, one of the concepts that I was really drawn to in Reform Judaism was the concept of tikkun olam. In tikkun olam, it means the mending or repairing of the world. And it's that concept that is the underpinning of our involvements in social action and social justice, in tzedakah and giving back and charity. And that concept really meant a lot to me and shaped who I was as a person. When I was growing up, I was involved in youth group, and I was the social action chair, working on social justice on a range of issues. It's that concept of tikkun olam, repairing the world, making it a better place, that is one of the things that's always given me meaning. Now, how does that impact how I got here? So I went to law school after doing some work in public policy. I went to law school, and after law school, I ended up at a law firm. And I was working at the law firm, and the people who knew me, I'd started describing my job to folks as I'm making things work, but I'm not making them any better. And I had the opportunity to come work at the Environmental Law and Policy Center, where every day I get to work on making things better. And it's that idea of tikkun olam, mending the world, repairing the world, making things better. And that's really why we're here today, right? What we're here to talk about is how we make MidAmerican better. And that contrast between just making things work and making things better. Yes. Because MidAmerican will say, they're making things work. And it's true, when the lights turn on, things are working. It's also true when you're providing energy and when your shareholders are making significant profits. Suppose you're making things work for some folks. But you're not really making things work, and you're certainly not making things better when you're the largest carbon polluter in the state of Iowa. That's not making things work for everyone. That's not making things better. And when you're running uneconomic coal plants that cost ratepayers more so that shareholders get their rate of return, that's maybe making things work for some but not others, and it's definitely not making things better. And that's what we're here to talk about. MidAmerican has so many options to make things better. It's time to retire those coal plants and replace them with more cost-effective, clean energy. Wind and solar and energy efficiency, they make things better. And MidAmerican can be doing so much more. It's time to make our air cleaner. And I'll let Corinne talk about that more, but we can be making things better. No one in this state should have to breathe dirty air because MidAmerican wants to keep running their coal plants longer. And we can make our energy more affordable so that the energy burden is less on folks, because MidAmerican is running uneconomic coal plants day in and day out that make them more money but cost consumers more than that clean energy, than that energy efficiency, than that solar, that wind. So that's our challenge to MidAmerican today. It's not enough to just make things work. They can make things better. And the solutions are right in front of them. They just have to be willing to work with us to do it.
Thank you so much, Josh. Last and certainly not least, I'd like to invite our final speaker to the stage for today, Corinne Stein from Mom's Clean Air Force. She does the work here in Iowa, so let's give her a big round of applause. She also was our musician if you came early.
Josh is tall. Officially. Good afternoon. I'm Corinne Stein, Iowa coordinator for Mom's Clean Air Force and its Ecomadres program. We are a national organization of more than 1.5 million caretakers, and we're dedicated to protecting children and other vulnerable people from air pollution and the climate crisis. We fight for environmental justice, justice in every breath. Although I've lived in Iowa for over 40 years, I'm Colombian by nationality. Because my Latino communities are disproportionately affected by air pollution, including pollution from Iowa coal plants, I would like to introduce myself and my work in Spanish before proceeding. Soy Corinne Stein, coordinadora estatal en Iowa para Mom's Clean Air Force y su programa Ecomadres. En Ecomadres nos dedicamos a proteger a los más vulnerables, los niños, de la contaminación del aire, de la crisis climática, incluyendo aquí en el estado de Iowa. Las comunidades latinas se ven desproporcionadamente afectadas por la contaminación del aire, las enfermedades respiratorias, los efectos de la crisis climática. Estoy a la orden para cualquier consulta en español. Si se contactan con ecomadres.org me podrán localizar. On this Earth Day, we're gathered to focus our attention on the harms of coal plants in Iowa. Nationwide, over 200 coal plants remain, many old, highly polluting, costly, and inefficient, including the 6th largest coal plants here in Iowa, owned by MidAmerican Energy. Around a quarter of coal plants nationwide in 25 states have plans to close by the end of 2029. These are well-known plans, but MidAmerican has not yet revealed a plan for a complete and equitable, just plan for closing its remaining plants here in Iowa by 2030 and provide all of its customers, including in neighboring states, with much cleaner and less expensive energy. Coal-fired power plants are infamous sources of toxic pollution. They spew mercury and 80 other dangerous air pollutants, including arsenic, acid gases, and the carbon dioxide that is warming our planet. They are linked to asthma, cancer, heart and lung ailments, neurological problems, dementia, and the developmental and cognitive delays. And the climate impact of CO2 released by coal plants is huge. We all know this. MidAmerican knows all of this. We must get away from burning fossil fuels to generate electricity, and very, very quickly. Mercury is one of our biggest concerns at Mom's Clean Air Force because it is not safe for humans at any level, at any concentration, especially not for fetuses and small children. Mercury is one of the most potent neurotoxins known to science, and it can impact children's ability to walk, talk, read, and learn. Yearly, an estimated 75,000 newborns in the United States have an increased risk of learning disabilities stemming from in utero exposure to mercury. Mercury released from burning coal turns into methyl mercury in water, concentrates heavily in fatty tissue of fish, then in the fatty tissue of the brains of fetuses when their mothers consume this contaminated fish. It also concentrates in the brains of small children who eat contaminated fish. Many, many people fish along the Mississippi and Missouri rivers from here to the Gulf of Mexico. Mercury concentrates more and more in larger fish that get eaten far away from Iowa. MidAmerican operates coal plants on two of this nation's biggest waterways, the Missouri and the Mississippi River. What happens in Iowa does not stay in Iowa. Iowa coal plants affect the health of children nearby, as well as hundreds of miles away. While the many emissions of the Iowa coal plants impact an outside number of people of color who live near the coal plants here in Iowa, I call on MidAmerican to become a better neighbor. I'd like to close with this thought. Gracias. I'd like to close with this thought. Statistics are people's lives. Statistics are children who can't play outdoors without suffering an asthma attack. Statistics are watching one's parent die at an unnecessarily early age from pulmonary or heart disease. Statistics are watching one's child do less well in school or having mobility problems because of mercury poisoning. Let's never forget that. Thank you.
Thank you. For this portion, I'd like to invite the kids to come forward around the table if you would like to. So all of the kiddos, come on up to the front from the coloring table if you'd like to. Yeah. And then I'd like to invite Brennan Marshall. Yeah, let's look at this. Hey, Maxine. Come here. Do you want to just quickly describe the table to the kids?
Oh, sure. All right, so myself and my good friend Ren here, we made this miniature representation of the coal plants, examples of coal plants here in Iowa. There are 5 coal plants operated by MidAmerican Energy, and one, not a lot of people even realize that there are that many coal plants or any coal plants whatsoever still operational in Iowa, so that's one thing. But coal plants produce a massive amount of waste, a massive amount of toxic waste in the form of coal ash, which contains arsenic and lead, mercury. So we got like a big pile of coal ash here. We also have an enormous pile of coal itself, which represents an extremely destructive extractive industry. We're also not a coal state, so all the coal that's burnt here was torn up out of the ground somewhere else, and then fossil fuels had to be burned just to get it here. And so we tear up one other state, and then we burn fossil fuels to get it here, then it's burnt here, and its soot and ash are left here in our state to poison our groundwater, which is represented here. We have a river going through, and we know that most waterways in Iowa are now polluted, not only by farm runoff, but also by pollutants that come from the coal plants themselves. We also have representing the smoke that's here, and coal communities like those in Sioux City and Ottumwa. They deal with higher rates of asthma than anywhere else in the state. They are directly impacted. We are, in essence, sacrificing the people of Sioux City and Ottumwa so that we can turn on our lights here. And then we put over here completely unnecessary minimum capacity coal plant. So as we reported in our condition of the state report last fall, the energy needs of Iowans were met with nearly 50% more than was needed, was generated. And so all that extra energy was exported to other states. And we know that only a small fraction of that was actually made by the coal plants.
We're running out of time.
Oh,
No worries. You're up here. So, thanks for coming up. So, we don't like what this looks like, right? You don't want a future like that. Okay, so we have a little thing to all do together. But I have to say some things first. Is that cool? Friends, we gather here today as a coalition of diverse groups, faith, spirits, united in our call of justice, renewal, and our need for clean air. Across our towns and farms under one vast sky, we share the earth as our common home. And so together, our voices raise like the wind around us, mingling and echoing for our demand for change. We are ready for change, right? Yeah. Yes, we want more pie. We know that there are many, many more like us. So, we are going to turn the table on MidAm. So, let's turn the table. Drum roll, everybody. Yeah. Everybody, what is that? Oh, man. Is this a better looking world, everybody? Yeah. We have a windmill, we have solar, we have a clean water, we have animals, we have grazing. I think they're grazing on not in one section. Beautiful trees and everything. So this is what the vision we have, and this is what we are calling MidAm in to do with. So let's onward and upward. Thank you guys for coming up. So now we're going to gather together and we're going to march to MidAm and we're going to deliver some letters to their leadership. So part of the letter states, and it is the QR code on the back of the liturgy if you want to sign it later. While we must transition quickly, we must do it in a fair and equitable way that gives communities opportunities to thrive in new ways. This will take a great moral courage on the part of MidAmerican Energy, yet you'll be supported by organizations like Iowa Interfaith Power and Light and the entire Cleanup Coalition, and dare I say, everybody here today. We had a rain plan, not a wind plan. For the sake of our planet, our communities, and our collective future, we call on you to begin engaging in a dialogue about how we can work together to build the future that all people deserve. Iowans of faith and conscience are paying attention to your actions. So I say to all of you gathered here today, are you ready to go and turn the tables on MidAmerican? Let's go! And we'll be following the people in the orange vests. We'll be staying with some items here. Thank you.
Susan, how are you? Are you going to walk? I don't know. Just need to go. What?
Thank you so much for coming. It's been a crazy
I can drive
day.
you home.
Thank you for coming.
Want me to walk with you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start going.
I'd rather have the wind than the rain, I guess. If it has to be one or t'other.
Pass that back.
whoever will take it.
You go ahead. Go get those guys. Go get
I liked your speech. That was very good to associate it with pie and food.
Thank you. Very good. Things near and dear to my heart. The environment and food. Pause.
Sorry. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want?
your carbon in the soil. No more coal. No more oil. Keep your carbon in the soil.
No more coal.
No more oil. Keep your carbon in the soil.
No more coal. No more oil. Keep your carbon in the soil.
Now we wait to process.
We're very responsible.
We're marching.
Okay, this one.
Warren Buffett made a phone call. Lunch with John Norris. And so you're running, and John Norris is running.
Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back.
When the planet we need is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up.
When the land we love is under attack, what do we do? When the air we breathe is under attack, what do we do? When the water we drink is under attack, what do we do? When the planet we need is under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Fossil fuels have got to go. Fossil fuels have got to go.
Fossil fuels have got to go. Fossil fuels have got to go. Ho ho! Fossil fuels have got to go. Ho ho! Fossil fuels have got to go. Ho ho! Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey hey! Ho ho! Fossil fuels have got to go. Most of my time is by bar. Bartenders.
Okay, when I say we are unstoppable, you say another world is possible. We are unstoppable.
Another world is possible.
We are unstoppable.
Another world is possible.
We are unstoppable.
Another world is possible.
We are unstoppable.
Another world is possible.
The traffic is stoppable. We are unstoppable.
Another world is possible.
We are unstoppable.
Another
Keep your carbon in the soil. No more coal. No more oil. Keep your carbon in the soil. We're almost there, everyone. To all the kids in the back, are we there yet? Almost. Almost there. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Ren, I think we're going around this way.
We're here.
All right, cool. Hey, okay, all right, folks, follow the flag over here. If you want to come gather around these beautiful hydrangeas.
Yep.
Are we going to do the liturgy first? And then
No, we're going to hit it and then the liturgy.
Yes, it is. If you guys want to move in a little bit this way so we can get everybody close. Can you all hear me okay?
Yep.
If you can hear me, give me a hoorah! Hoorah! I don't know where that one came from. All right, cool. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Emma. I'm an organizer with the Sierra Club.
Oh, yeah!
Based here in Des Moines. I work specifically with the Beyond Coal campaign. Our goal is to get all utilities across the state of Iowa to retire their coal fleet by 2030.
Woo! We can do it!
Our main target is MidAmerican, who's based right here at the moment at 666 Grand Avenue. Is that a coincidence? They are moving. I'm not kidding, we really are at 666 Grand Avenue. And currently, we are here right now delivering this letter. Irene and the other leadership has gone in to request a meeting with MidAmerican to further pressure them to retire their coal fleet. So, all right, give me a cheer if this is your first time protesting at these headquarters. Round of applause for you all. Give me a cheer if you have been here before. That is not my first time, and it won't be my last. Maybe if they move soon. So yeah, I just wanted to hold some space while they deliver this letter. Have they come back out yet? Oh, they're back out. Okay, well, do you want to take it away? All right, Tim, you want to take it away?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here. Let me. Is honey. So you hold this and speak into that, and I will hold this.
In many faith traditions, liturgies are a way of expressing our hopes and our convictions and our callings. And so I invite you to join with me in the liturgy that you have in the sheet. I'll read the non-bolded lines and you read the bolded lines. Let's do it with enthusiasm so everyone hears, okay? As a prophet of old flipped over the temple tables, we too declare a time of overturning has come.
The time for coal is no more!
We bear witness to the harm, to the smog in our skies and the soot in our lungs.
To a future in danger, to life cut short before it blossoms.
Our health, our economy, and our water suffer at the hands of negligence.
It's time to turn the tables, to make right what has been wronged.
For the young people among us who should dream as high as the birds fly.
It's our duty to plant a path, green and vibrant and true.
richness of our various traditions, we find a common thread.
A call to care for all life, a way of love for all beings.
MidAmerican Energy, we ask you, where is your moral compass?
It's time to turn the tables, to use energy pure as the heart of a child.
We come together, not from disagreement or hatred, but from hope.
It's time to reject coal and to adapt and rapidly pursue green energy.
It's time to turn the tables from day's dawn till the coal is gone.
In our united band, we see a brighter tomorrow and a transformed world is born.
It's time to turn the tables, and we know this to be true.
Our hands are blessed, our commitment is strengthened, our future is clear and bright. MidAmerican Energy, with one voice we say, clean up your act!
Give it up for Tim! No, you can't whistle into a megaphone. All right, give it up for Iowa Interfaith Power and Light for putting together this incredible rally. We're gonna march back together. Irene, are you ready to return? Okay, we're gonna follow the smokestack and the flag again and stay together safely in a group, so we all get back to our cars and such safely. So, if the flag wants to take the lead up there.
We went to the wrong thing. You have an idea for something?
We're at 7.
All right, this way, everybody. We're crossing over here. All right, if the group on the other side doesn't want to wait for us, Dave, just wait for us over there.
It's kind of tough.
All right. Okay, we're gonna do Ain't No Power Like the Power of the People. Ready? Ain't no power like the power of the people. Power of the people don't stop. Don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. No more coal.
No more oil. Keep your carbon in the soil.
No more coal. Keep your carbon in the soil. No more coal. Keep your carbon in the soil. No more oil. No more coal. No more oil. Keep your carbon in the soil.
No more coal, no more oil. Keep your carbon in the soil.
You guys want to lead one? You want to?
Yeah, do it.
Press this button. Say, what do we want? Say, what do we want?
What do we want? Climate justice.
When do we want it?
What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now.
Here we go.
I thought about actually going to like Hostess. Do you remember the food pies they sell all packaged in those outfits?
We're working in we've worked in about 20 counties.
When the planet we love is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the water we need is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the water we drink is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the air we breathe is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back. Yeah.
You want to do it now?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Talk. All right, everyone. I think it's also important to remember what we're fighting for. So if you know the words, join me. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, bright blessed also in the faces of the people walking by. I see friends holding hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
how it goes beyond the first?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, hide it under a bushel, is that the...
I don't know. No, I'm gonna let it shine.
All right, we have a request from Deaconess Irene. Join along if you know the words of this one. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
They do it.
Come on, guys.
Let MidAmerican blow it out. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Let MidAmerican blow it out. No, I'm gonna let it shine.
Onward and upward.
That's okay. They used to play soccer, so what could be worse than soccer?
Take your reindeer. How old is he?
Still getting my feet wet.
They don't get it that year, and that's really not
Web design has nonprofit website. It's called Aboundant. We're based in
Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey, hey.
Right on
Ho, ho. Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Fossil fuels have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
that your water bottle?
Yeah, I have a water